Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Let me know if the music's too loud. I wanted to have a little bit of ambient sound to it. I'm going to see if I can... Yeah, this is fine. Whatever. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my stream. I'm playing ambient and relaxing Resident Evil music with rain and storm ambiance. Welcome Devin, welcome Sven, welcome Glitchy, welcome Sane, welcome someone. Hello, welcome. The first requested creepypasta, which if you guys have something you want me to read, just post it. I'll take a look at it. Try to pick something that's not super long. This one that was provided to me is really long, so if you want me to read it, there's a bunch of pictures and stuff in it, so the first one that was requested was the creepypastas I like, the Godzilla game pasta, the NES Godzilla creepypasta. So grab a snack, freeze your ass off with me. Tomorrow it is going to be negative 10 degrees. With the wind, it's probably going to be negative a jillion, so I might die. So yeah, that'll be fun. So what better way to do that than to read some creepypastas. If you're not subscribed already, make sure that you do. And without further ado, let's get to reading. So yes, NES Godzilla Creepypasta. Chapter 1, The Beginning. When I was a little kid, the two things I loved most in life were Godzilla and NES games. So naturally, when Godzilla Monster of Monsters came out, it was like a dream come true. Well, almost. To sum it up, most of the game revolved around getting through very repetitive outer space levels while smashing up tanks and jets, and then fighting against Godzilla's monster enemies. Overall, it was pretty mediocre. But back then, I didn't care. When I got the game as a present for my 10th birthday, I played it night and day, as much as I could. Unfortunately, I had traded the game for Amagon a year later, much to my regret when I found out what that game was like. Recently, I had bought a new NES system, and through a lot of hunting and asking around, my friend Billy finally managed to find a copy of Godzilla Monster of Monsters. Fuck. You're right, Adam. Hey, Sabrizi, welcome to the stream. I was pumped to play my favorite childhood game. It never even occurred to me to ask where Billy found it. He also gave me some other games like Legend of Zelda, Bomberman, and some stupid thing called Action 52, but Godzilla had to come first. So I started the game, and the nostalgia came flooding back like a tidal wave. Godzilla's 8-bit theme song flooded proudly through the speakers, and I was soon grinning like an idiot. Some people laugh at me for playing such outdated games, but I've never had as much enjoyment for any games other than those on the NES. Those 8-bit games take me back to when things were much simpler, more safe. But after what's happened with this game, I don't have those feelings anymore. I had forgotten how quick the fun of smashing things as Godzilla wore off in the scrolling levels. The game bombards you with bullets and things crashing into you from every direction, and you're too big to avoid most of them. Although my excitement had worn down some, it wasn't long at all before I got to my first boss battle. My first opponent was Gazora, an obscene squid kaiju who had never been in a Godzilla movie. The most annoying thing about fighting Gazora is that he always backs you into a corner and starts smacking you with his tentacle, and you're unable to move until he gets off of you. This move doesn't do any damage, but it can stall you until the timer runs out and you have to start the fight over and he regains some health. It's as annoying as it sounds, and of course, he did it when I fought him. Only for some reason, this caused the game to glitch up, because once he started smacking me, he never stopped. The timer is supposed to end the fight in about 40 seconds, but this lasted for nearly 5 minutes. After a while, the graphics started to mess up with little red blocks all over the place, which was weird. But I just took the game out, blew on it, and then started again. I wasn't about to let a little glitch stand in my way, so I started again and this time defeated Gazora and the level's other monster boss, Megura, without any problems. Nice, you're reading it. Yes. Yeah, this is it's a really long one, but I'm gonna read it for you. So then it was on to the next planet, Mars. I browsed around the board and found something unexpected. Where Varen's piece should have been, there was instead a piece representing Titanosaurus. There was only 10 kaiju in the game, and Titanosaurus was not one of them, or so I had thought. Perhaps Titanosaurus was originally intended to be in the game, but was swapped out with Varen for some reason. So I began to feel very excited. Not only was I playing my favorite game, but I was playing a prototype of some sort of with a new monster. Needless to say, I ran through the levels as fast as I could to see Titanosaurus in action. Fought Gazora again and beat him before he could do his tentacle smack, but this time the glitch started happening when he died. Gazora's sprite didn't shrink to the bottom, but instead seemed to be devoured by the glitch, and his eyes started randomly spawning all over the screen. I know that these glitches with Gazora were my first warning sign that something was very wrong with this game, but foolishly, I ignored it and proceeded on to fight Megura, who this time had a glitch of his own. Megura was twice the size he should have been, which startled me. He was also considerably harder to beat than usual, which is to say not at all. But soon I had defeated him also, and when he died, yet another glitch happened. This happened extremely fast, so I was lucky to get a screen cap of it all. But when that happened, what was that? Sorry, but what it happened was that the giant Megura sprite started to shatter and melt. Also, if you look at that garbled text at the right corner of the screen, you'll notice what appears to be a bird in a cage. I still have no idea what that meant. At this point, I was about to fight Titanosaurus, and I was worried as to what kind of glitches would happen this time. But to my surprise, Titanosaurus looked just fine. Although all of the game's bipedal monsters were the same height, Titanosaurus was a bit taller. But since Titanosaurus actually was taller than Godzilla in his film debut, I thought this was kind of cool. After a very fun fight with the monster that wasn't supposed to be in the game, I took over the enemy base and proceeded not to Jupiter like normal, but instead to Pathos. Let's see, perfect monotone voice for reading. Like, no. Thanks. Alright, Chapter 2, Pathos. Pathos was the same as Jupiter in layout, except the board was dark blue rather than green. The first thing I noticed was that all the usual level icons had been replaced by a blue rock in some kind of orange honeycomb shape. There was one icon that had part of the jungle icon shape, but I didn't pay much thought of it. I checked the other side of the board to see the new monster. Instead of Hedorah is Biollante, which was from Godzilla vs. Biollante. I watched that for the podcast. There's chapters to this, yeah. Well, that couldn't have been right. Godzilla vs. Biollante didn't come out until 1989, and this game was made 1988. Perhaps Toho put Biollante in the game to build excitement for the movie next year, but changed their minds? I tried to rationalize the game's abnormalities any way I could, but this would prove to be futile. Is it Pathos or is it Pathos? I'm gonna just go with Pathos. I think it's Pathos. Hold on. Sorry, I'm gonna...
Pathos.
Alright, neither. Pathos. Great. Pathos Map Song was the first new song I had heard in the game. Like most of the new songs, it was hard to describe. I'll try. It started out slow and suspenseful, much slower than any song in the game. But every 12 seconds or so, there would be a loud clashing sound, and the tempo changed. It was like the composer randomly played parts from 5 different songs with the same instruments. I moved Godzilla over to one of the many Blue Rock icons that had replaced the jungle icons and started the level. The level resembled a blue mountain range with a blood-red planet in the sky. But there was something odd about the mountains. They had a shredded paper look to them. I thought at first maybe the glitch had affected it, but it looked far too intentional. I quickly noticed something else about this new level. There were no enemies at all, not even any obstacles. I should also mention that the point meter started to become glitched beyond comprehension. But it didn't bother me much. I never keep up with game points. So without having to focus on anything, I listened to the music while walking through the level unopposed. The music had a sorrowful feel to it. It would have been rather pleasant had I heard it in a normal game. The level went on for 3 screens, but with no obstacles around, I finished it very quickly. I tried other levels of the same type to see if any enemies appear, but there were none. There were little else to be seen in the Blue Mountains, so I tried the other level type. I started one of the orange levels and my eyes were assaulted with a grotesque background of tumorous orange eyes. The sky was the same as the ground, so I assumed the game was indicating that this level takes place in a cave. The only enemies here were Matango Spawn, but as you can see, the little bastards were everywhere. The music certainly didn't help, with a mixture of screeching sounds and loud drum beats that sounded like a monster's theme in a horror film. After completing it, I tried to avoid playing through any more of these levels whenever I could. The map was short, so it was only a few minutes before I was headed towards a rematch with Gazora and Maguro. But this time, their sprites and attack patterns were vastly different. I fought Magura first. Magura's replacement was a flying machine with a slight resemblance to a Pascagoula alien. It was a bit like fighting Mothra, only it moved with a lot more grace. It attacked by spinning its front tentacle like a corkscrew. And it still had an I-beam, except now it fired from the drill. This lanky aberration had replaced Gazora, and the new beast was more of a challenge. It would run and jump at a fast pace, constantly swinging its arms around, making it hard to get close. And of course, it tried to pin me in the corner with as much annoying resolve as ever. I defeated it using a combination of tail whips and heat beam spamming. I defeated them and was going to fight Titanosaurus, but when I started to fight Titanosaurus, it was nowhere to be seen, and the game simply went back to the map with the Titanosaurus piece now missing. There was no one left to fight now but Biolante, so I eagerly started the battle. I was quite surprised that Biolante started the fight in her rose form. She was immobile and used tentacles to keep me away from the main body, which took the most damage. As expected, she turned into her final form after taking enough damage. The sprite looked pretty damn good for 8-bit. The battle technique was the same, except now Biolante could move, albeit slower than any other monster. Being hit by the tentacles did more damage now, and Biolante could do an acid spit, which I managed to avoid by jumping in the screen cap. Not much more difficult to beat than Titanosaurus. It only took 2 rounds, but when Biolante was gone, the music had stopped, and there was a new icon replacing the base. This icon wasn't there before I beat Biolante. It resembled a red tribal mask, and I had a feeling of dread when I saw it. But since it replaced the base, it must be the only way to pathos. Wait, what was it again? Pathos? Who cares? Illiterate I am? Yeah, that's fair. It was a hellish looking place with no sky and a flickering fire in the background. The fire looked far away, far more advanced than anything I'd seen on the NES. There was music in the form of a slow, steady drum sound resembling a heartbeat. Pathos, thank you. All the text on the top of the screen and the life bar were gone. In their place was a single bit of text in the middle of the screen that said run. My feeling of dread had intensified. I cautiously walked through the level, but like the blue mountains, there were no enemies. I paced around for a minute before thinking, run from what? The first time it hit me, I didn't even see it. I heard a noise outside my room and turned back to see if something fell, and when I looked back, Godzilla was dying. I figured it must have been a glitch, but I wasn't going to play through the game without Godzilla, so I restarted the game and went to the password screen. Have I ever mentioned how creepy the password screen music is? If you played the game, you know what I mean. It doesn't fit at all the mood of the game. It's more like something from a horror game. Maybe they made it like that so kids wouldn't cheat. I was quite annoyed at this point because I thought I was going to have to fight all the monsters again, but that didn't happen. The game started me off right where I was before I started the red face level, so I tried again, making sure to pay attention this time. That's when I heard a low bellowing sound, and then I saw it. This thing. Do you know that feeling your body has when you feel like you're in extreme danger? You start to recoil and tense up as the adrenaline flows through your veins and your nerves start to feel very cold. That's the feeling I had when I took this screen cap. I haven't seen all the Godzilla movies, but I'm pretty damn sure this was never in any of them. It had to be something the creators made up, but what kind of sick fuck would put this in a children's game? By sheer dumb luck, or perhaps the adrenaline boost, I managed to run fast enough to get away from it. It ran very fast, so much so that if you saw it, you were almost certainly going to die. And when I say die, I mean your monster gets killed instantly if the creature touches them. Once I had gone back to the map, I was afraid that I was extremely tempted to just shut the game off and try to pretend this never happened. I couldn't believe what I had just seen. It couldn't have been real. And even if I wanted to continue, I still had to get to Mothra through the chase level. But as I stayed inactive on the map screen for a few minutes, my fear was replaced by burning curiosity. What the hell had just happened? What was the rest of the game like? I only had to beat this level with Mothra, and then it was on to the next world. But when I moved Mothra to the red face, the game registered it as me beating the level. I was quite relieved. I tried to prepare myself for the next world. Trance. Hey Bert, welcome to the stream. Godzilla's for children. Godzilla, just like Wu-Tang Clan, is for the kids. I already read books. If I could read actual books to you guys, I would, but copyright. Alright, you guys ready for chapter 3? Oh, well, let me check and see what you guys... Okay, no, not ready. Oh, I thought she was on the Discord. Yeah, I'll put the Discord in. Generating a new link. That's not the link I'm wanting to generate. That's the link to the stream itself. Gyatzilla. Alright. And if you're not already on the Discord, by all means, join the Discord. Be respectful. Okay. Actually, hold on. All right. Yeah, this is real ASMR. I even got the rain sound effects going on too with it. But don't fall asleep. Go back to the smut for 2 sentences. All right. Let me see. Her long, strong legs, the muscle in her core, tightening as she shuddered and arched into him. He tried to picture what it would take to dance on the ice with the center of gravity as high as hers. With the length of her limbs, the kind of control she'd have mastered to achieve the elevation, precision, speed during jumps, he savored the mental image. The anticipation it created. He'd never given figure skaters a second thought, but her strength did something for him. Rue's sweating and doing beautiful things. Rue, powerful and quietly fierce. She would match him. In fact, she already had. It's a Godzilla creepypasta. For the next thing, dude, I don't know if I want to read all of this. This is really long. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna post this on the Discord. Nothing. All right. So yeah. So if you guys submit me a creepypasta to read, make sure it's not 1,000,000 chapters long. Yeah, it's about. So I'm gonna post it on the Discord under the scary stories to read on stream. So yeah, NES Godzilla creepypasta. So I'm gonna go to another thing now. What do we... Let's see. Why is there a Little Big Planet PS Vita? Oh, I thought it was a Little Big Planet creepypasta. Oh, here we go. Oh, wait, this one looks like it's kind of shit. Fuck it, let's read it. This one's called Garfield's Horrible Joy. I'm a pretty big fan of Garfield. You know, the comic strip that's a fat orange cat with black strips and loves lasagna. You probably do know about him and his huge fan base. But something that many Garfield fans don't know is that Garfield had some TV shows like Garfield and Friends. The majority of these were hand-drawn shows that followed most of the traits that the comics had. But there is one show I want to talk about called The Garfield Show. This was a computer animated show that was like Garfield and Friends, but with much better quality and a few more characters. I loved watching this show, and so many others did that they had to keep it going to this day. But the show was supposed to stop at season 4, for reasons I will tell you in a second. When I was at a garage sale looking at some stuff to get, my eyes laid on a Garfield DVD, which was the first 4 seasons of The Garfield Show. So I asked if I could pay for this, and the guy said I'd take it for free. I was so overjoyed that I ran to my house and put it in my DVD player. It started at the intro where I could choose any episode from seasons 1 through 4, But at the very bottom of the list was an episode called Garfield's Horrible Joy. I had no idea what this episode was, but out of curiosity, I clicked on it. I wish I hadn't clicked on it. It started out with Garfield sitting on the chair and eating what looked like a dog's ear. I was a little confused, but thought it was just a little bit of lasagna. Then Nermal came over and said hi, and kept bragging about how he's the cutest cat in the world. This is when things got scary. Garfield then closes his eyes. For 2 seconds, they stay closed. Then he opened his eyes, revealing 2 bloodshot eyes. Then Garfield grabbed Nermal by the neck and threw him against a wall. Then he pulled a butcher knife that was already had blood on it, indicating that he already killed something with it, and then slowly approached Nermal. I thought Nermal was a girl. I was terrified at what I saw, but had to see what happened. Then Nermal opened his eyes, revealing to him Garfield with bloodshot eyes and a knife. Then Garfield stabbed Nermal in the stomach, making blood splatter everywhere. Then came something that scared me. Dude, this is the worst fucking shit I've ever read. Eating meat. Garfield ripped open Nermal's chest and ate his intestines. All the while Nermal screaming to death, I threw up at the sight and had to see the end, regretting it. After that, Garfield went up the stairs and saw John working on his computer. Then John turns around. Oh, hey, Garfield. Ah! Garfield then leaped up at John, stabbing his eye socket, blood everywhere as he ran around the room until he just laid there, dead. Then it showed a close-up of the front door, but for 10 seconds nothing happened. Then Garfield's face appeared. He had demonic sharp teeth and huge bloodshot eyes, and a message repeatedly flashed on the screen saying, "I'm gonna kill you, Sam, Sam, Sam." I immediately took the disc out and smashed it to bits. I will never see Garfield or any cat again, because every time I see a cat, I always see those bloodshot red eyes. Watching that disc has let out a demon, and that demon is after me. As I record this, Garfield is slamming on my door, meowing his normal meow from the show, and I know that when he kills me, the last thing I will see, those red bloodshot eyes. That was absolute dog shit. Oh my god, that was terrible. You can draw whatever you want. I thought we'd listen to you read actual horror short stories. I can read actual... Hold on. Horror short stories. This is a BuzzFeed article of 16 truly terrifying super short stories. Do Bendy? Is there a Bendy creepypasta? Bendy, Minecraft creepypasta. Is that it? Okay, this one doesn't seem like it's super long. Short horror stories on YouTube. YouTube doesn't like it when I react to things. I get something that's just like, you don't have permission to do that. I was on a new world that I had created that day of the encounter. I had found some iron and I made a sword and helmet. That's when things started to get weird. I went to a cave and started mining coal when behind one of them was another cave. It wasn't a normal cave. It was perfectly square like a hallway and was made of wood. I decided to enter. Inside, the hole closed as soon as I entered. I couldn't mine the blocks, so all I had to do was explore. After about 15 to 20 minutes, I noticed something. This was like Bendy in the ink machine. I had played it, in case you were wondering, and I have too, which you can find on the... Never mind. But if this was here, then was the ink demon on this world as well? I started searching, but then I thought, what if he wasn't on this world? I still thought he was on this world. God, this is bad too. After another 30 to 40 minutes of searching, some weird stuff started happening. My inventory was cleared except for my stone axe. My skin changed to be invisible. I couldn't open my inventory. I couldn't press F5. My axe was the only thing that I could hold. My hunger and health points depleted. I did not take fall damage, and my walking speed was slower. Then I saw black coverings on the wall. Bendy was here too. Quickly I ran away, but then I heard his chase theme, Little Devil Darlin'. I ran away. As the darkness got closer and closer, I finally got to an open door. As soon as I got through the doorway, I shut the door. But then as soon as I opened the other door at the other end, he started chasing me again. This time, I was not so lucky. Rather than being sent to the respawn screen, I was sent to an ink tunnel named the Well of Voices, or the Dark Puddles, after reaching the end. I was not sent to the nearest bendy stature, which are respawn points in the actual game. I think that's meant to say statues. I was sent to the main title screen. I quit Minecraft and my wallpaper was the ink machine with Bendy as the background. I never saw him again. I'm gonna fall. I took 2 Benadryls and this is like... No! You're gonna be... I don't know. I asked if that was the right thing. Let me see. Royalty free. Okay. Horror. Alright, let me see. Let me see if this is... I'm gonna read from Reddit's horror short story. Normal is from... Or what? Is that not normal? Oh, I don't... No, we're not doing a Fortnite story. I'm gonna read this scary... Yeah, no. I'm sorry, guys. I thought... I was hoping you guys would be recommending me other stories to read. Okay. Alright, maybe this one's scary. Alright, here we go. Remember, if you want to recommend a short story to read, post it on the Discord. Ban you? I'm not banning you, Hypernova. A 10 out of 10 do not recommend this shit. No! I died 8 years ago. It wasn't particularly tragic or unusual, just a car accident. I don't blame the man who hit me. He was speeding because his wife was in labor and there was black ice on the road. He lost control of the car and I lost my life. It's not his fault, I know that. I'm not cruel. I am not vengeful. If anything, I'm the opposite. You see, I don't have any family left, and I had lost my few friends around that time. When it was time for my funeral, the only people who came was my boss and the family who killed me. The wife held her newborn daughter close to her chest. I hated my boss, and the cemetery was awfully lonely, so I followed the family home. Lily may as well have been my own flesh and blood. She was sweet and bright, and oh so very small. She had trouble sleeping if someone wasn't rocking her crib, and her parents were so tired. After they put her to bed, it was easy for me to rock her crib for her. I didn't get tired. I could help her. As the years passed, Jack and Lori realized that they weren't alone in the house. It didn't take long from there to make a connection between my funeral and when I had showed up. And I'd never been malevolent, so they weren't afraid or angry. They started to burn candles on the anniversary of my death day. They left an empty chair for meals and holidays. I really felt like a member of the family. Someone is trying to force the door. It's Lori's ex. He's obsessive. He's angry. He's trying to hurt the family. My family. The thing about ghosts is that the more offerings you get, the stronger you become. I'd been enjoying candles, trinkets, and even the occasional food item for the past 5 years. I was strong from that. The knife feels warm in my hand, a shock of heat against the ice of my skin. Lori, Jack, and Lily are my family. I care about them, and they're not going to join me yet. That wasn't very good either. It's -50 where I like to... Yep. Yeah, that's what it's going to be like for me. That was terrible. Okay, hold on. You know what? I got one. I'm gonna read you guys a classic. I think you guys are gonna like this one. All right. This one's about Shrek. I think you're gonna like this one. I was only 9 years old. I loved Shrek so much. I had all the merchandise and movies. I pray to Shrek every night before bed, thanking him for the life I've been given. Shrek is love, I say. Shrek is life. My dad hears me and calls me an F-slur. I know he was just jealous of my devotion for Shrek. I called him a cunt. He slaps me and sends me to go to sleep. I'm crying now and my face hurts. I lay in bed and it's really cold. A warmth is moving towards me. I feel something touch me. It's Shrek. I am so happy. He whispers into my ear. This is my swamp. He grabs me with his powerful ogre hands and puts me on my hands and knees. I'm ready. I spread my ass cheeks for Shrek. He penetrates my butthole. It hurts so much, but I do it for Shrek. I can feel my butt tearing as my eyes start to water. I push against his force. I want to please Shrek. He roars a mighty roar as he fills my butt with his love. My dad walks in. Shrek looks him straight in the eye and says, "It's all ogre now." Shrek leaves through my window. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. Welcome Helen to the stream. Helen, do you have a recommendation for... The stories have been very good so far. I thought that would be funny to... No, Sabrizi. Straight up stroking my Shrek every night. Let's see. Do we got any, what do we got? Can you go to the SCP wiki, hit random, and read it? Okay. I have seen the video. Sabrizi, I was thinking maybe you hadn't seen it, and I thought I was going to blow someone's mind. Okay, so I'm going to do SCP wiki. There's a random button? Oh, there it is. Why am I getting recommended furry porn? Yeah, it's here. Who was phone? Okay, I'll read who was phone. Who was phone's pretty funny. I found the SCP one. Explore SML wiki? What the hell is SML wiki? I'm looking at it and I still don't. What is SML? Super Mario Logan? I don't know what that is. Okay, so I'll do a 2-sentence horror as well. Here's the thing. Something I really like to do, though, with two-sentence horror is I like to read bad two-sentence horror as well. So all right. So I think I got what I'm gonna do here. So I'm gonna read Who Was Phone. Say stuff about Shrek and buttholes. Has the raptured happened? Not yet. It's in like 30 minutes. Imagine being on stream and hearing that. It's what everybody wants. Man, that was Jersey Mike's. All right. Here's oh wait, hold on. What? All right, so. All right, I got another copy pasta I want to read too. All right, I'm going to read Who Was Phone. SML Wiki. Wait, what did... Wait, Sabrizi, what did you say? We all want Shrek. Hell yeah. I know some people that were sexually attracted to... they were sexually attracted to... Shrek. Am I supposed to do smlwiki.com or smlfandom.com? Okay. It says I gotta put my name in there. Alright. Hopefully it doesn't play like a jump scare sound. Oh, this is like a game. What the fuck is this? Oh my god, why is it in full screen? Alright, we're not doing that. Is Christy asleep too? Who is Christy? Alright, okay, so basically it's like this. You're at a friend's house for like the night or whatever, and then you guys are making out on the couch. Yeah. And then like her dad calls on the phone and says, "No, she likes it more if you use the other hand." Yeah. And you're all like, "Oh dude, your dad is trying to give me advice on how to diddle you." And then she's like, "I don't have a dad," or whatever. But what? Who was phone? I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious honkers. A real set of badonkers, packing some debunka honkeros. Massive dehunka bunkaloos. Big old tahonga cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up, and even bigger bunka honga hoogs. Humongous honga longa honga longus. Have you not heard that this is Who Was Phone? That's a pretty good one. All right, I'm gonna do two-sentence horror now. We're gonna trade off on two-sentence horror with bad two-sentence horror. If you guys have stories that you want me to read, post them. Sally creepypasta. Warning, hers is very traumatic. Okay. Also, please make sure that it's not extremely long. Let's see. Is it Sally Play With Me? Oh my god, that's extremely long. What? Don't dox your friends. Wait, who's doxing me? What? 2 sentences is my max tonight? Okay. 2-sentence horror. My wife and I submitted... Oh, wait, I already read that one. We finally invested in a time machine capable of traveling centuries into the past. But there is a bug which limits us to moving only 3 months into the future. We spent last month making improvements, yet when we tested it today, we could only travel only 2 months ahead. That was fucking terrible. I will think about it, someone. That one did look really, really bizarre. Then here's bad 2-sentence. Bad 2-sentence horror. Here we go. You're gonna love this one. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. The baby is not dead or anything, but the shoes are evil. Amazing. Alright, I hit random on SCP Foundation. SCP-50AEJ, object class... How do you say this? Is it Euclid? Thanks for not giving me a pronunciation thing. SCP-50AEJ is to be kept in a steel box locked with a padlock and wrapped in an American flag. The box containing SCP-50AEJ is to be kept away from the following: Russian literature, radios, the Pope, first-generation Russian immigrants, and pictures of Ronald Reagan. In case of redacted, security staff are to begin humming the Star-Spangled Banner while weeping a single tear. SCP-50AEJ is an IMI Desert Eagle with an American flag print grip. SCP-50AEJ is unremarkable except for the fact that when fired, an adult bald eagle designated SCP-50AE1 emerges from the barrel and attacks anyone who displays communist beliefs, Russian ancestry, or unpatriotic leanings. SCP-50AE1 differs from a normal bald eagle specimen and that it is not only appears to be able to detect sociopolitical beliefs, but also can talk, usually screaming slogans such as "better dead than red" and "democracy is non-negotiable." Investigations into the further properties of SCP-50AE1 have been stymied by the fact that SCP-50AE1 continues to attack Foundation scientists, calling them pinko fucks. That was dog shit. I read an SCP thing for you guys, and that one sucked. Thank you for keeping it 100 twice for me, Wonder Red. Thank you. That was horrible. Hey, animatronics, finally a non-game night. I tried to watch the pressure wash one and lasted 2 minutes. I did see that. Yeah. That one did pretty well, honestly, all things considered. Like, alright, here's another 2-sentence horror. Hopefully this one's not terrible. My eyes widened as the young, pretty pregnant coworker beside me complained about how much the upcoming post-birth international trip would cost. She could not understand why the procedure her family demanded for her baby girl would be illegal in this country when it had been done to her every female she knew. That was garbage too. No, they're, well, I mean, they're newer, but yeah, no, they're still like the red glasses. I feel like, God, dude, am I gonna get to read anything good tonight? Is it just all shit posts at this point? You like them? Okay. Wait, my glasses or the stories? Both? Thank you, Sabrizi. Not the stories. I'm trying. I'm trying my best. I am trying my best. Oh, wait. Hold on. You know what? Because we can't get any worse than this. Let me... Oh, wait. Okay. This is a really short story. It's like 4 sentences long. You're going to love it. All right, this is a green text I found a long time ago, but I love it because it's stupid. Walk in the gym. See penis inspection day sign. Turn around. The door is already sealed. All right, here's... You know what? Let's read the best two... This is the best 2-sentence horror. Sounds like my kind of gym. You want to go to... Penis inspection? I mean... I'm pretty sure most of the dudes that go to my gym are gay. So if you just want to see penis inspection day, just go to the gym blocker room. Yeah, Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness dick. Never mind. No, don't leave. Yeah, I actually have like a mic and everything. Yeah, I've had it the whole time I've been streaming. For some reason the phone streams do a little bit better though. So Breezy's had a long day today. She kept messaging this really weird dude today. I don't get it. What was that all about? Taking... Yeah, so weird. Who could it be? He's kind of cool, I guess. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Yeah. It's me. Alright, this is what's considered the best 2-sentence horror. All my life, my parents have told me not to open the basement door, but I got curious and disobeyed them. What is that glowing ball in the sky, and why does it hurt my eyes? That was dog shit. Did you hear about the August 12th, 2026, the planet will lose gravity for 7 seconds? We would all be dead. I did. The whole time, though, I was like, oh, she's probably going to think this is weird that I'm doing this. I know she already went to bed. It was nice talking to her. Hopefully we'll talk more. That'll be pretty sick. I read it. Okay, so since I read the best 2-sentence horror, let me read you the best bad sentence horror. Is it a boy or a girl? Asked my pregnant wife. The doctor, with horror in his eyes, turned the ultrasound screen to show. I already read this one. 30 billion raccoons. Yeah. I think, yeah. I told my brother about you. I was like, hey, should I let this person who I've never met before just come to my apartment? And he was like, do you know that they're real? I'm like, I've never seen them before. We've never actually talked yet. Like, we've messaged each other, but we've never actually, like, camera face to face. And he's like, well, if you can confirm that they're real, fuck it. I told him, I was like, if she asks me for money, then she's a catfish. But if she doesn't, then yeah, you'll have to, you're gonna have to post like one of those, like, to verify that it's you. You have to hold like a sign that says like username and the date. This one says, oh yeah, she exclaimed as I put the ring on her finger. It was Saturn's ring and they crushed her and she died. Amazing. Fucking awful. Yeah, hold a spoon. Can you use a banana to compare for size? That's... Fill us in. How was it? How was what? We didn't do anything. Yeah, banana for scale. When the kidnapper made me guess where he kept my daughter, I went for the basement. He said correct, allowing me to see her. But when I found her severed head in there, I learned that every other choice would have been correct as well. There's just nothing good. We have not met before, no. Yeah, 8 hours away. I don't think I want to do SML Wiki. Alright, more people are interested. More people are interested about how the conversation between Sabrizi and I went. I would be down to video chat with her if she wants to do that. People are gonna be like, bro, get off the fucking stream. Go video chat her. What are you doing? I'm not calling you again. I don't even know what her voice sounds like. I'd be down to play games with her on stream. What do you guys think Sabrizi sounds like? I'm thinking she sounds like this. She's like, all right, here's my Sabrizi impression. This is what she sounds like. Hey, yo, it's me, Sabrizi. Hey, bada bing, bada boom. That's Helen, I'm down to play Fortnite as well. Sabrizi's down to play Fortnite. We could squat up. Get that Fortnite going. You think I said bada bing, bada boom? Should I, hold on, hold on. We're not playing Fortnite right now, Devin. Fortnite will happen eventually. I think she is confident and flirty. She is. Very flirty. Hello, Jackson. Welcome to the stream. She said she likes my mustache. Fellas, grow a mustache. That's it. Fart night. Got him. For Fortnite, I think you can go up to 4 people. All right, so if you're from the south, do you have like a she's from Kentucky, so she's probably like all right, here's my southern accent. All right. Hold on, let me take a little drink of water. All right, here's my southern accent. Hey, it's me from the south, bada bing. I feel like she probably sounds like she probably sounds like Luann from King of the Hill. I'm not being racist. It's like her spirit is channeling inside my body right now. Sabrizi, is that you? Hey, it's me, Sabrizi. How'd you know? Hold on. Would a southern accent be more like a I'll come back now. Dude, she probably sounds like those 2 guys in the SpongeBob movie where they're like, which one would you like? Ketchup or mustard? Gorsh. Yuck. Max. I'm sorry, Sabrisi. I'll stop. Go Breezy. I'm about to airball on epic proportions on this. So how'd you fuck up with Sabrizi here? Oh, I said that she sounded like a New York man from an 80-year-old New York man. Do a SpongeBob laugh. All right, I'm gonna see if I can do it. All right. Cause like the way that Tom Kenny does it, he goes like, he takes his hand and he goes like back and forth on his throat. So he's like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop doing that. No, I'm sorry, Sabrizi. This is the man you want in your life? Guys, I need all of you to vouch for me and say how cool I am to Sabrizi. I want to hear all of your glowing reviews of me so that Sabrizi will be like, yes, this guy, this is the guy. So if everyone could say how cool I am, all those times I helped you in your time of need. See? All right, Bert. See? Yeah, Bert knows. -50. That's so cool. See? 10 out of 10. See, Sven, he knows. He doesn't come to 9 out of 10 streams, but Mox, one time. See, you know, $1,000 for a guy in need. I'm just real humble. I'm just a real humble guy. Please don't leave me. See, if I could actually start an orphanage, I would. What's $1,000? Not a lot of money to have, but a lot to owe. I've heard that I'm a great cook. I've heard that I'm compassionate, caring, sensitive. I'll cry during a movie. I actually have cried watching movies. Not all of them or something like that, but like, God, what was it? My Dog Skip was one that I cried watching. I cried a few episodes of Futurama. These are my sources. Yeah, I know martial arts. He clicks more. Yeah, I definitely have a lot of money, and it definitely not all went to that. I have slowed down on the Warhammer and Gundam purchases, I promise. Slowed down big time. I have a $50 Amazon gift card. What should I buy with it? Has anyone subscribed? I haven't really been checking on that. No. Damn. Alright, we're holding on for you. What is it, Helen? What is it? A giant picture. Oh no. Helen, what? What? Vinny used a black lotus as a plate. Oh my god. Hello. Hi, Helen. What are you up to? How's the lesbian conservation going? I'm gonna read another. Dude, this stream has been a fucking disaster. I'm gonna read an excerpt from the Holy Bible here. This says, let's see. Oh, wow. You okay? I asked. My hand traveled up and down the divot of his spine, brushing the planes of muscles on either side. They twitched under sweaty skin. Fuck. The word was muffled by the pillow. Give me a second. Be a good girl and don't move. I didn't move, but he felt so large and foreign inside me. I needed to test the stretch and the limits of him. Find out where he ended and I began, so I clenched around him, and that was all it took. Alright, well, I'm gonna stop doing that. That was the You were playing Fortnite with your girlfriends? Nice. It's gotten 4 likes. Damn. I can't do anything right. This stream turned into a disaster. I'm sorry, guys. This was meant to be. This was gonna be me reading spooky stories, but nothing. Nothing spooky's happening. Want to hear a dark joke? Sure. Go ahead. Roses are red. Here's a flower. Oh, look, they hit the North Tower. Oh my God. Man, maybe I should have played Power Wash Simulator tonight. I'm trying to think of a scary story that happened to me. I think I think a lot of the people that come to these streams, well, actually, no. Oh, yeah, no, some of you guys didn't exist during 9/11. I didn't really understand, like, the severity of it because I was, like, 10 years old. Or it's a sign. Time for one-on-one with Sabrizi? Oh, shit, Bert's the oldest one. Oh, baby, Helen, what you trying to get into? Well, actually, you got your lesbian throuple. I'm rooting for a Sabrizi. Sabrizi, if you actually look like the person in the profile picture, 1 for 1. Dude, I want to join but I'm not a lesbian, or am I? Was I the lesbian this whole time? If I don't say I do not live at the bottom of a lake. So you're not what is it? A siren? Is that what it is? The ones that live in the lakes that drown you? Can we see the My Little Pony figurines? I was waiting for someone to say something stupid like that. Oh, you're not a catfish. Do they live in the bottom of a lake? See, I was thinking Sabrizi was more like a siren. Like she's so beautiful and she'll lure you in with her thick New York accent. I'm just kidding. No, she's going to be like, come on, come follow me. And me, being me, will be like, yeah, let's go into the river, whatever. Yeah, drown me. They're bottom feeders. Wait, are you calling me a bottom? She's a beautiful singer. Emphasis on beautiful. I feel like the moment I actually hang out with Sabrizi, I'm gonna My hands are gonna be so fucking sweaty. I'm gonna be like, oh my god. I am not a bottom. Nuh-uh. Man. Alright, now everyone's roasting me. God damn it. You're fine. Holy. Oh, wait. Sabrizi is? Yeah, that's true. I give off bottom energy. I think you guys would be very surprised. I swear to God, dude. She's gonna do a video call with me and then immediately go, "Hey, it's me." Just out of spite. I think you are. Feet sucker energy? Me? I don't suck feet. Okay, one time I did, but that was one time. Dylan would create a very hot lady for me to look at. But Sabrizi, are you a soprano or an alto for singing? Do you have a high voice or a low voice? I'm thinking she's an alto. Soprano, I'm surprised. You're gonna draw me a beautiful woman. Thanks. But yeah, I'd be down to do a video chat anytime. I'm free all day tomorrow. I might freeze to death too, so that'd be kind of cool. Wait, she says she's mostly a soprano. And when you rearrange that and take away I am mostly, and then you put an S after sopranos and put the in front of sopranos, it's the Sopranos. And in the Sopranos, they like Gabagool. She's from New York. Bada bing, bada boom. I'll be snowed in all weekend. So Sabrizi's 29 and I'm 34. I know you're. I know. How dare you say I'm from New York? Yeah, I'm gonna be freezing my ass off. Yeah. So I'm gonna also be free all weekend. For you, I'll make time. Was that corny? I don't care. Yeah. That'll be nice. I like that. Alright, this went from me reading stories, just everyone going, Justin, you gotta do this. Come on. Come on. We believe in you. Do it for us. Do it for your country. I'm going to be so locked in. I'm going to take, if Sabrizi, when Sabrizi, see, because we're going to go confident on here. Not if Sabrizi comes to visit. When Sabrizi comes to visit. I take her to Wisconsin's finest restaurant, Chili's. No, I'll take her somewhere nice. Not too nice, because I'm not made of money. And I want to come off as humble. I'm going to take her to a nice restaurant. It's going to be great. I'm going to be dressed to the 9. She's going to be dressed to the 10. But, crazy, won't believe this. She's always a 10. 10 out of 10 every time. She's going to... Yeah, the 1,000 sub stream. She's going to help me with my makeup. Yeah, I'm taking her to the dumpster behind Chili's, yeah. Fine dining experience. I'm going to take her to the Cheese Castle. I'll take her to the art museum. I'm going to take her to a nice restaurant. I'm going to take her to the art museum. If the weather permits, I'll even take her to the beach. I'll take her to round 1. I'll win her something in a crane game. I'll take her to the Cheese Castle so she can get all the finest cheese and cheese accessories. I'll take her to well, this restaurant's not fancy, it just tastes really good, but I'll take her to just a good restaurant in general. Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, I'll take her to Texas Roadhouse. I'll take her to... wherever she wants to go. Whatever she wants, I'll take her there. There's a place called House on the Rock that I want to take her to. It's like a weird museum. But also first I want to make sure... Yeah, take her to some scary playground. I'll take her to the rough side of Milwaukee so she'll go, oh, not this part. See, the art museum here... Yeah, I'm going to take her to Silent Hill. Yeah. The art museum here in Milwaukee is fantastic. It's like $20 to get in, but it is one of the biggest museums I've ever been in. And I could take her to a movie theater, historical movie theater. We can go see whatever movie's playing. Maybe we don't even need to watch the movie, you know? Hey, arm around the shoulder. Hey, use the old stretch and lean. Hey, how you doing, you know? Maybe I'm from New York. Bada bing, straight to the moon. I'll take her to the moon. I'll take her to the stars. I'll take her wherever she wants to go. To Waverly Hill. What is Waverly Hills? I'm down to go to Waverly Hills. Ooh. The sanatorium. Wow. Oh, there's a creepy gargoyle. Well, I'm already sold. Oh yeah, I wanted to go hiking with her too. I thought that'd be cool. Oh, we could go to the public market. That's pretty nice. There's a lot of people there though, so I don't know if you're into that. Where the wizards are, that's Waverly Place. Too, yeah, let's go do that. She's in Kentucky. Yeah, she's in Kentucky. I could take her to the Harley Davidson Museum, but I don't know. Yeah, no, she's actually in Kentucky. Yeah, yeah. If you like to drink, I could take you to some breweries and stuff. I don't drink, but like I'll take you. Like that's fine. Um, there's also the zoo. I've not been to the zoo when the animals were there. I went for a light show thing. Here's the thing. I live close to the beach. I think if we just... What is Belinda? When I drink, I turn into a werewolf named Belinda, and I'll rip your face off. What is your drunk alter ego? When I was drunk, the one time I've ever been drunk, I was just like very like huggy feely the whole time, and then I threw up a bunch. Yeah, she could fly into here too. Like that's fine too. I could pick her up from Chicago. Chicago. Do you have some interesting stories of your drunk alter ego? I just flew in and boy, my arms are tired, and then I just leave her there after telling me that. Tell the stories. Tell a story. Since my story sucked ass, we need some good stories. What do we got? As long as you don't get like belligerent drunk, should be fine. I was born at a really young age. Yes. Yeah, let's meet Belinda. We went to a karaoke bar for one of our staff meetings. There was an old man there. I'm just reading it like a creepy story. I gave him my business card and proceeded to tell him how much he needed us because he was old. Oh my god! Breezy. No, that sounds like something I would have done. You look old. Take my card. You're gonna need it. You are awkward like me. God damn. This might be the start of something beautiful. I look forward to this. I've never had anything where there was a staff outing. Maybe I just don't work anywhere that likes me enough to invite me to them, but I never get invited to anything that's like, all right, the staff's gonna go out and do all this stuff. Hey, we got a BOGO deal going on caskets, so, you know, if you want to, you and your wife, whenever you guys decide to die, you got one and the other. I applied to work at a bank, but I got a denial. We went to a lunch on a yacht one time, and there were a bunch of old people there. I had 2 lits and started saying we should have brought business cards. God, it sounds like Parks and Rec or something. Like that. We should have brought business cards. I used to have business cards for one of the podcasts I had because, you know, like if I meet like game developers and stuff and be like, hey, if you want to be on my podcast, here's my business card. Dude, you know what you're gonna... I have the strongest feeling that if you got drunk around me, you would just be like... You would just be talking in the fake New York accent the whole time. Just to commit to the bit. Hey, there's nothing wrong with you about passionate about your work. Even when you're drunk. Hey, you know, I used to do, like, sales and stuff. Like, I used to work in phones, and any person I had talked to, if they started talking about how they hate their phone or their service or whatever, be like, hey, you know, come in, I'll get you a deal. I can work with you on accessories and stuff. Hey, we gotta see about your finances. Bada bing. Hey, bada boom. Hey, you're out the door. Get out. Gabagools. God. I do not miss being in sales, though, whatsoever. Being in sales was horrible. I felt like I couldn't trust anybody that I worked with. But I've also made a lifetime friend from it, too. My friend Dylan. You're old and you need us before you die, so your family won't be taking... Said Trunk and Toby. I can't... I'm just imagining the old people just being like, you know, I know we don't have much years life in our... We don't have many like our years left in our life, but you know, let's just enjoy the night. You know, let's not think about the existential crisis of our impending deaths. Here comes young Sabrizi. Hey, old people. Hey, you're gonna die. What if I told you I could get you a good deal? Banking. Well, I don't. Banking is the opposite of sales. Banking, they're like, hey, do you want to open a credit card? This one's pretty cool. That's... It's a set of Men's Warehouse where it's like, you're gonna like the way, you're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it. She's like, you're gonna like the way you die. I guarantee it. I mean, I get it. You are not allowed to die yet, Glitchy. You have so much life to live. So, Bracy, they're more interested in what you're saying than what I've got to say. If you don't get busy living, you're gonna get busy dying. I am Belinda. Take my card. Gotta put me on a stream. Come on in. I can get Sabrizi on the stream. Straight from her bed. It's Sabrizi and the cats. I'm down. My stories suck, so yeah. This is actually... This whole time, she's actually just trying to see if she can soft launch into becoming a streamer. It's like, oh, all these people here like me. I'm gonna grab them all. Nah. Yeah, go get you some food. Yeah, I want to hear your joke, Devin. What's your joke? Thanks, Sabrizi. Also, Arkean's here for once. Holy shit. What do you call a person with no body? I don't know. What do you call it? Nobody knows. God damn it. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Maybe I could read another SCP. You know, maybe this one will be good. Hold on. Let me... you know what? I haven't read anything in a while now. Now I'm kind of like... Now I don't. Now I don't want to read. It feels weird to go back to it. People want to know more about Sabrizi. Ah. There's Roblox creepypastas? You know what? I'm gonna look up a Roblox creepypasta. Let's... It can't be any worse, right? This is huge. Hey Riley, welcome to the stream. How are you? You guys want to see the Pop-Tarts that I've been eating? Hold on. We're just sitting here chatting. We were reading stories, but all the stories sucked, so we just gave up. Now we're just hanging out. We're all ears. Okay, okay, hold on. I'm gonna I'm gonna find a spooky story. I can do this. But I want to show you this Pop-Tart I've been eating. Have you guys ever had these legendary Pop-Tarts? They're protein Pop-Tarts, not like protein Pop-Tarts, but yeah, they look like Pop-Tarts, but they're like protein things. But I think they're pretty good, but a lot of people say they taste like shit. But the macros on it are good. 180 calories, 20 grams of protein. I mean, come on, it's way better than fucking Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts, it's like 400 grams, or 400 grams would be insane. No, 400 calories and 10 grams. Like, come on. No, hold on. No. I'm not talking down on protein being and stuff. Hold on. Let me clarify that. No, the thing that I hate is everything saying that it's like a protein thing, but the macros and stuff on it are so shit that people will just blindly buy it because it says protein on it. If anything, what I hate is the misleading advertisement of protein. That's what I hate. Like I said, like Pop-Tarts having Pop-Tart protein Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tart protein, like 10 grams of protein for 2 Pop-Tarts, terrible. Yeah, no, like a lot of this junk food shit needs to be better. I hate that a lot of protein products cost a lot. Like any of them that taste good. Yeah, I mean, you can get some protein bars that taste like absolute shit, but yeah, like I said, protein Pop-Tart could work if it reduced its calories, had actual like nutrition to it, and also didn't taste bad. Here's me at work, so you... I do love Pop-Tarts, though. Like, I like eating Pop-Tarts, but don't try to come out with, like, a Pop-Tart protein and act like, oh, yeah, like, it's kind of like everything claiming, like, oh, it's organic, and people go, oh, organic, healthy. People see protein, oh, protein, healthy. It's not the same. Like, just because it says it doesn't mean that it is. Bananas are great, though. Actually, you know what, guys? What is your favorite Pop-Tart? Tell me. I want to know what your favorite Pop-Tart is. Mine is brown sugar cinnamon. Let's see. I love sweet, dude. I love sweets too. It is my crutch. Snowballs are okay. Twinkies are alright too. I used to eat like little Debbie snack cakes and stuff, and my brother used to call me a fat kid all the time. Like, I was gonna say he called me a fat piece of shit, but he never called me that. But sorry, I could turn the music off. We never had one. If anything, it's just nice background music. Yeah, milk. That's a good one. The fat cookie dough. There's cookie dough Oreos now. Haven't seen them, but yeah. S'mores is good too. Dude, I don't like the fruit Pop-Tarts. I think they taste terrible. I don't know why. Butterfingers are good. My favorite candy is Reese's. Peanut butter chocolate. It's a duo that just... it makes sense. Oatmeal cream pies. Big dude cream pies. I mean, what isn't there out there to eat? I don't like nuts. Just never mind. I'm not gonna. Hey Jackson, welcome to the stream. I'm not gonna make that joke. Does anyone here like nut? There are people that are saying for eating Pop-Tarts to get like 2 different flavors and stack them on top of each other and eat them that way. Anyone tried that? Dude, I don't know what it is about Little Debbie snack cakes, but I feel like they always leave like this like weird like film in your mouth. Am I the only one that like feels that way? Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's like a weird texture in your mouth. Like, eating a McGriddle does the same thing, too, where it's like, what did I just eat? I mean, granted, you shouldn't be eating that shit anyway, but, yeah. I do like those, like, powdered cookies, you know, with the icing on top. The ones that a lot of people say it's like eating Play-Doh. I don't know what it is about it, but I love it. Jesus. Yeah, Sunny D is weird too. Hawaiian Punch just makes me feel like shit. You're allergic to orange juice? Then I imagine you're allergic to oranges as well. How do you get vitamin C? I'll make sure not to eat any oranges around you. I can't remember the last time I had an orange. I love orange juice, though. All citrus? Damn. Yeah, they put something in the juice that makes it to where I can't drink it anymore. Bert the host is actually a third of orange. He like raises his shirt up and he's just got oranges. Oh, you're not allergic to all citrus. Okay, okay. Bert, what is wrong with you? I can't eat a lemon just raw. I'm not raw dogging a lemon. That sounded better in my head. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm allergic to citrus. What can I say? I've never had an allergy test done. I don't know what I'm allergic to. But none of it would surprise me. There's a buffet around here that's pretty good that... I don't know. Every time I go to a buffet, I feel like I never eat enough. You spend 20 bucks and then just... It's not enough. When she drinks orange juice, what happens is... It starts looking like Pink Floyd The Wall, the movie. You're lactose intolerant? Just be tolerant. I have been to a sushi buffet. I ate a bunch of sushi then. One time I went to like an all-you-can-eat sushi. It had like 6 rolls. I have not lost those rolls since. I don't like Jell-O though. Lactose intolerant and you're trying to come to Wisconsin? Dangerous. Ayo. I don't know how she's gonna... You know what? I'm not... She's gonna... Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Never mind. Gives a sitting fuck, huh? Nice. I'm not gonna say it, but implication was smut level. That's what it was. I was gonna say, how is she gonna give a sitting fuck? That's what I was gonna say. But then I was like, maybe I shouldn't say that, but then everybody wants me to say it, so then I say it. You're right. I've said worse. I don't know. Hey, I'm good at... when people give me instructions, I'm good at following them, usually. I shouldn't have said that. Oh my god. God, everyone... Don't worry, guys. This one's for you, guys. I'll be so good to you, Sabrizi. I'm interested in what the dynamic would look like. Like us hanging out dynamic-wise. Y'all need a room. Suck the feet. I'm not gonna suck Sabrizi's feet. Jesus Christ. Y'all need a room. Okay. If you guys donate to the stream, help me get a... Everyone, I need you to be really fucking cool right now. I need you guys to donate money. I need this. Fucking someone said suck the feet. Sabrizi does not want me sucking her feet, someone, alright? Arkean and his perverted bird needs. I still need to play that game. Damn it. I need to put that on my wish list. Yeah, Hatful Boyfriend. That's what I need to... You're gonna love it. Why am I getting... That time I got reincarnated as a demon hand? This is hentai. I gotta not look at that. I'm good. She likes her big toe sucked. Guys! And then she never came back. Yeah, that's what he said, though. Just suck on your feet. He liked... I don't think that's how that works, though. She can't... Unless Sabrizi has... I mean... Here's the thing, Sabrizi, you can like them and don't want kids. The person just is on an IUD instead. No, I didn't. I could get neutered. I don't think they call it getting neutered. And women getting their tubes tied is a lot harder for them to get done. Because the doctor would be like, well, what if you want to have kids? I'm like, what if I don't want to fucking have kids? The world just wants you to accidentally have kids. Yeah, see, yeah, they don't want you to do it because you don't have kids. They're like, well, you'll probably change your mind. It's like, I'm 34 and I still don't want kids. Duh, why didn't I think of that? Dude, I have talked about some wild shit on stream. Yeah, guys, like, we need to actually meet first before we even... Jesus Christ, I'm not reading that. Good God. I'm gonna delete that. Yeah, let's not scare away Sabrizi, please. Jesus Christ. God, she is a lady. She wants to be wined and dined, and most importantly, She wants to be listened to. I'm here to listen. You're better off. Oh my god. Guys! Guys, don't put too much pressure on her. Jesus Christ. She is a business classy lady from Kentucky. I'm just a poor Midwestern boy. No, you didn't hear a door open. It was, You like smut, so incorporate it into... How do I incorporate smut into my life? I'm still waiting. So Breezy said she wanted me to read a book to her, but I don't know what book to read her. Should I read Hungry Caterpillar? No. Don't worry, I'm not talking to I am talking to nobody. It's just you. Well, yeah. There was one person I was talking to for a little bit, but she disappeared, so... I think she has a boyfriend now, so... She's like, I'm gonna come visit you, and then she got a boyfriend. I'm like, alright, see ya. Bye, I guess. Damn. I would not dye my eyebrows pink. No, it wasn't your mom. Though your mom... Yeah, Helen's the one in the polycule. Hold on, there might be an actual... Hold on, how long is... Oh, I might get in trouble if I do that one. I was gonna try to read I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, but I think I would get in trouble. I think, I don't like that it just downloaded a PDF. Oh, there it is. I will definitely get in trouble for reading it. Even though it's only 11 pages, Harlan Ellison will come out of his grave and kill me. Look, guys, taxes are not that bad. Like, if you don't have that many different tax forms to go through, like, if you've just been working the same job for a year, you're only going to have the one tax form, and there's so many ways to do it for free. Justin, not the whole chat, but did you pick someone with perverted bird needs? I don't know what Sabrizi's her bird needs are, but I don't think so. I'm gonna read some sugar-free gummy bear reviews for Sabrizi here. Wait. Wait, no, these are like actual... Hold on. Alright, so... Disagree, you cannot sell any of my information. Jesus Christ. To preface this, I will state that it is not good to upset anyone in the military supply network. This is especially true for a supply NCO, non-commissioned officer, who can be both creative and vindictive to those who earn his ire. One of my biggest pet peeves was troopies who walked into my supply room and decided to go through things on my counter or desk. It is for this reason that I purchased 2 bags of these sweet little revenge snacks. I briefed my minions that morning that the snacks were to be unsullied by their hands. I told them that I would know, and it would not go unpunished by both myself and the higher powers. They thought I was joking, but decided to not test my authority before my eyes. With that said, I placed the bowl on the back part of the counter just in reach of anyone loitering inside my supply room. The rules are posted for all to see when they came in, so they were warned. A large sign that said, "If you touch my stuff, you will be punished." They decided to test me, I guess. On this weekend, we were set to do general cleaning and maintenance within the battalion. So my desk was rather busy, battalion headquarters supply room. I was in and out of my office all day. However, I made sure to take general measurements of my bowl of horror every time I came back. Shortly before lunch, my unholy wrath began to strike. My supply room is 1 door down from the latrines, and the row of male commodes, is on the other side of the wall from my desk. It was the first, but was not the last. It was initially heralded by the sound of Gabriel's trumpet escaping the sphincter of one poor soul. He hit the latrine and sounded as if he kicked the stall door open. For the next 30 minutes, I listened to the sounds of a live humpback whale being butchered by a blind man wielding a chainsaw. It was not long before another troop, this time I don't want to say a female, a woman, made her way into the latrine. She came from the indoor pistol range and had to cross in front of my door. I saw a pale woman with sweat streaking her face. She was hobbling with one hand on the wall for support and the other on her stomach, praying for just a little more time. For lunch, I ripped into an MRE, the Army brown bag lunch, and listened to the ever-growing chorus of those who had so far snuck down half my bowl of brightly colored improvised colon-explosive devices. I was not sure if the other side of the building was seeing the same activity in the latrines, but the smell reached my door by the end of lunch. Good thing I was stationed with an infantry unit for the first 4 years of my career, so I was accustomed to bad odors. One of my minions did not return from lunch, so I volunteered another to perform a possibly suicidal scouting mission into the male latrine in search of my wayward soul. He was there, and had been since the beginning of lunch. By 1500, 3 p.m., I was told that the unit was being locked down and there was an emergency meeting in the battalion briefing room. I had a suspicion of the reason, but attended as I was ordered to do so. By this time, my bowl of gelatinous bowel howitzer ammunition was 1/4 filled. The meeting began slightly off schedule. At 15:22, the sergeant major walked into the room and looked as if he had just performed a 3-day combat operation without sleep. The battalion XO walked in not long after and looked as if he had been intimately assaulted by a rather insistent horse. I used all of my military bearing to keep from cracking a joke about cavalry officers walking bow-legged. The battalion surgeon walked in and told us that there was a high chance that the unit had come in contact with a strange stomach bug. Roughly half the battalion was complaining of stomach cramps and explosive diarrhea. It seemed to mostly be affecting HHC, the headquarters, and C Company, the company that was on the same side of the medical building as us. Also the medics. Until symptoms cleared up, the unit was in lockdown and cleaning mode. I went back to my supply room with the intent to bag up the remaining evidence of my involvement, only to find that the bowl was missing. My minions were too wrapped up to notice anything, though. So I began a search for the evidence that would probably land me in front of a firing squad. The empty bowl was located in the admin offices. Someone found it and decided to liberate it from my supply room for the only group that I didn't want to upset. But they had already consumed the remainder of the biological weapons. As I left with the bowl, I heard the familiar sound of incoming fire from the senior pay clerk's desk, followed shortly after by what sounded like LeMay's breathing. That weekend, the entire building was cleaned from one side to the other. MREs were consumed in the hopes of plugging the torrential flood of liquid terror, and every door and window was open with fans going over a cup of Pine Sol in every room. 3/4 of the enlisted or half of the officers were hit with a mystery stomach bug, and the medical supply room was in desperate need of more IV kits. I don't know if my message got across, but it was definitely an entertaining weekend. Amazing. God. Hold on. What? I like when people shit themselves. Someone you need. People like to be punished. Some people, I didn't mean say me. What do you... Oh my god. Can you read this in Fortnite terms? Is there Fortnite creepypasta? Alright, maybe this one's good. Oh, nope. Nope, this one's gonna be pretty terrible. Never mind. Oh wait, here we go. Alright. Fortnite creepypasta. So I just got home from school and my mom was working, so right off the bat, I knew what I was gonna do. I was gonna race to my PS4 to hop on some Fortnite. The game that is taking over the world right now. I'm actually a pretty good player. I averaged 20 plus kills per game and had 67 wins in total. So I hopped on a solos match, and for some reason the server was pretty weird. Everyone in the game was wearing the Cuddle Bear skin. Now, a lot of people think that the Cuddle Bear skin is cute, but I think it's creepy as fuck. Anyways, I ignored it and just started playing. I landed at Tilted and got 10 kills right off the bat. But I came across another weird thing about this server. Everyone's name in the game was, "We eliminated you." I was pretty confused considering the fact that you can't take names that are taken on PlayStation, so this was pretty weird. I was thinking I came across a server full of hackers. Anyway, please stop this madness. Thank you, Sven, for the €2. Alright, I'll stop. Everyone said that it sucked, so never mind. Hold on. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Make sure to like the stream. And if you want to donate, do it. Give me your money. There we go. Yeah, I'm Shrekking it. Let's see. So you want an actual... Let me see, because I might have an actual... Oh, I'd like to read one that's not... I was like, oh, I could read the Metamorphosis. But it is... Oh my god. It's 60 pages long. That's not gonna happen. Read the first page of House of Leaves. No. I used to have that book. Let me see. There's gotta be like a short story I can actually read that's not dog shit. Okay, hold on. We might have something here. I do not have the Book of Bill. No, I don't. You're gonna actually go to bed now? Oh. I heard the wagons. Okay, this is Children on a Country Road by, what is it, Franz Kafka? Yeah. I heard the wagons rumbling past the garden fence. Sometimes I even saw them through gently swaying gaps in the foliage. How the wood of their spokes and shafts creaked in the summer heat. Laborers were coming from the fields and laughing so that it was a scandal. I was sitting on our little swing, just resting among the trees in my parents' garden. On the other side of the fence, the traffic never stopped. Children's running feet were past in a moment, harvest wagons with men and women perched on and around the sheaves of darkened the flower beds. Towards evening, I saw a gentleman slowly promenading with a walking stick, and a couple of girls who met him arm in arm stepped aside into the grass as they greeted him. Then birds flew up as if in showers. I followed them with my eyes and saw how high they soared in one breath, till I felt that they were rising but that I was falling, and holding fast to the ropes began to swing a little out of sheer weakness. Soon I was swinging more strongly as the air blew colder, and instead of soaring birds, trembling stars appeared. I was given my supper by candlelight. Often both my arms were on the wooden board, and I was already weary as I bit into my bread and butter. The coarse mesh window curtains bellied in the warm wind, and many a time some passer-by outside would stay them with his hands if he wanted to see me better and speak to me. Usually the candles soon went out, and in the sooty candle smoke, the assembled midges went on circling for a while. If anyone asked me a question from the window, I would gaze at him as if at a distant mountain or into vacancy. Nor did he particularly care whether he got an answer or not. But if one jumped over the windowsill and announced that the others were already waiting, then I did get to my feet with a sigh. What are you sighing for? What's wrong? Has something dreadful happened that can never be good? Shan't we ever recover from it? Is everything lost? Nothing was lost. We ran to the front of the house. Thank God. Here you are at last. You're always late. Why just me? Especially you. Why don't you stay at home if you don't want to come? No quarter. No quarter. What kind of way is that to talk? We ran our heads full tilt into the evening. There was no daytime and no nighttime. Now our waistcoat buttons would be clacking together like teeth. Again, we would be keeping a steady distance from each other as we ran, breathing fire like wild beasts in the tropics, like cuirassiers in old wars. Stamping and springing high, we drove each other down the short alley, and with this impetus in our legs, a farther stretch along the main road. Stray figures went into the ditch. Hardly had they vanished down the dusky escarpment when they were standing like newcomers on the field path above and looking down. "Come on down. Come on up first, so you can push us down. No thanks, we're not such fools. You're afraid, you mean. Come on up, you cowards. Afraid? Of the likes of you? You're going to push us down, are you? That's a good one." We made the attempt and were pushed head over heels into the grass of the roadside ditch, tumbling of our own free will. Everything was equally warm to us. We felt neither warmth nor chill in the grass. Only one got tired. Turning on one's right side with a hand under the ear, one could easily have fallen asleep there, but one wanted to get up again and with chin uplifted, only to roll into a deeper ditch. Then, with an arm thrust out crosswise and legs threshing to the side, one thought to launch into the air again, only to fall for certain into a still deeper ditch, and of this one never wanted to make an end. How one might stretch oneself out, especially in the knees properly, to sleep in the last ditch was something scarcely thought of, and one simply lay on one's back. Like an invalid inclined to weep a little, one blinked as now and then a youngster with elbows pressed to his sides sprang over one's head with dark looming soles, in a leap from the escarpment to the roadway. The moon was already some way up in the sky, and its light a mail coach drove past. A small wind began to blow everywhere. Even in the ditch one could feel it, and near by the forest began to rustle. Then one was no longer so anxious to be alone. Oh, everyone's going to sleep. Oh, shit. Should I stop? Or should I keep going? Where are you? Come here, all together. What are you hiding for? Drop your nonsense. Don't you know the mail's gone past already? Not already. Of course, it went past while you were sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. What an idea. Oh, shut up. You're still half asleep. But I wasn't. Come on. We ran bunched more closely together. Many of us linked hands. One's head could not be held high enough, for now the way was downhill. Someone whooped an Indian war cry. Our legs galloped us as never before. The wind lifted our hips as we sprang. Nothing could have checked us. We were in such a full stride that even in overtaking others we could fold our arms and look quietly around us. At the bridge over the brook we came to a stop. Those who had overrun it came back. The water below lapped against stones and roots as if it were not already late evening. There was no reason why one of us should not jump onto the parapet of the bridge. From behind clumps of trees in the distance, a railway train came past. All the carriages were lit up. The window panes were certainly let down. One of us began to sing a popular catch. But we all felt like singing. We sang much faster than the train was going. We waved our arms because our voices were not enough. Our voices rushed together in an avalanche of sound that did us good. When one joins in song with others, it is like being drawn on by a fishhook. So we sang, the forest behind us. For the ears of the distant travelers, the grown-ups were still awake in the village. The mothers were making down the beds for the night. Our time was up. I kissed the one next me, reached hands to the three nearest, and began to run home. None called me back. At the crossroads where they could no longer see me, I turned off and ran by the field paths into the forest again. I was making for that city in the south, of which it was said in our village, "There you'll find queer folk. Just think, they never sleep. And why not? Because they never get tired. And why not? Because they're fools. Don't fools get tired? How could fools get tired? Look at us." So, Kafka's best story is the Metamorphosis, in my opinion. But, yeah, like, I would read it, but it's very long. Long for this. Not a long story itself. It's like 60 pages, but... hold on. I've got Edgar Allan Poe, since Stefania's here. If she's still here. The Man That Was Used Up. Oh my god. No, that one's... Sorry, give me a second here. Is Morbius scary? It could be very calming to listen to. Thank you. Finally something to listen to. You're welcome. I'm trying to find a good story for you guys. The Cask of Amontillado. That's a good one. It's only 7 pages. You guys probably read this one in school. The 1,000 injuries of Fortunato I had borne as I best could, but when he ventured upon insult I vowed revenge. You, who so well know the nature of my soul, will not suppose, however, that I gave utterance to a threat. At length I would be avenged. This was a point definitely settled. With a very definitiveness with which it was resolved precluded the idea of risk. I must not only punish, but punish with impunity. A wrong is unredressed with retribution overtakes its redresser. It is equally unredressed when the avenger fails to make himself felt as such to him who has done the wrong. It must be understood that neither by word nor deed had I given Fortunato cause to doubt my goodwill. I continued, as was my wont, to smile in his face, and he did not perceive that my smile now was at the thought of his immolation. My bad. He had a weak point, this Fortunato. Although in other regards he was a man to be respected and even feared, he prided himself on his connoisseurship in wine. Few Italians have the true virtuoso spirit. For the most part, their enthusiasm is adopted to suit the time and opportunity to practice imposture upon the British and Austrian millionaires. Austrian, Sven, you too. In painting and gemmery, Fortunato, like his countrymen, was a quack, but in the matter of old wines he was sincere. In this respect, I did not differ from him materially. I was skillful in the Italian vintages myself, and bought largely whenever I could. It was about dusk one evening during the supreme madness of the carnival season that I encountered my friend. He accosted me with excessive warmth, for he had been drinking much. The man wore motley. He had on a tight-fitting party-strip dress, and his head was surmounted by the conical cap and bells. I was so pleased to see him that I thought I should never have done wringing his hand. I said to him, "My dear Fortunato, you are luckily met. How remarkably well you are looking today. But I have received a pipe of what passes for Amontillado, and I have my doubts." "How?" said he. "Amontillado? A pipe? Impossible. And in the middle of the carnival?" "I have my doubts," I replied, "and I was silly enough to pay the full Amontillado price without consulting you in the matter. You were not to be found, and I was fearful of losing a bargain. Amontillado! I have my doubts. Amontillado. And I must satisfy them. Amontillado. As you are engaged, I am on my way to Lutresi. If anyone has a critical turn, it is he. He will tell me. Lutresi cannot tell Amontillado from Sherry, and yet some fools will have it that his taste is a match for your own. Come, let us go. Whither? To your vaults. My friend, no, I will not impose upon your good nature. I perceive you have an engagement. Lutresi, I have no engagement. Come. My friend, no, it is not the engagement, but the severe cold with which I perceive you are afflicted. The vaults are insufferably damp. They are encrusted with nitre. Let us go, nevertheless. The cold is merely nothing. Amontillado, you have been imposed upon, and as such for Lutresi. He cannot distinguish Sherry from Amontillado. Thus speaking, Fortunato possessed himself of my arm, and putting on a mask of black silk and drawing a roquelaire closely about my person, I suffered him to hurry me to my palazzo. There were no attendants at home. They had absconded to make merry in honor of the time. I had told them that I should not return until the morning, and had given them explicit orders not to stir from the house. These orders were sufficient, I well knew, to ensure their immediate disappearance, one and all, as soon as my back was turned. I took from their sconces 2 flambeaux, and giving one to Fortunato, bowed him through the several suites of rooms to the archway that led into the vaults. I passed down a long and winding staircase, requesting him to be cautious as he followed. We came at length to the foot of the descent, and stood together upon the damp ground of the catacombs of the Montresors. The gait of my friend was unsteady, and the bells upon his cap jingled as he strode. The pipe, he said. It is further on, said I, but observe the white webwork which gleams from these cavern walls. He turned towards me, and looked into my eyes with 2 filmy orbs that distilled the rheum of intoxication. Nitra, he asked at length. Nitra, I replied. How long have you had that cough? Ugh, 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 ugh. My poor friend found it impossible to reply for many minutes. It is nothing, he said at last. Come, I said with decision. We will go back. Your health is precious. You are rich, respected, admired, beloved. You are happy, as once I was. You are a man to be missed. For me, it is no matter. We will go back. You will be ill. I cannot be responsible. Besides, there is Lutresi. Enough, he said. The cough is a mere nothing. It will not kill me. I shall not die of a cough. True, true, I replied. And indeed, I had no intention of alarming you unnecessarily. But you should use all proper caution. A draught of his medoc will defend us from the damps. Here I knocked off the neck of a bottle which I drew from a long row of its fellows that lay upon the mold. Drink, I said, presenting him the wine. He raised to his lips with a leer. He paused and nodded to me familiarly. While his bells jingled, I drink, he said, to the buried that repose around us. And I to your long life. He again took my arm, and we proceeded. These vaults, he said, are extensive. The Montresors, I replied, were a great and numerous family. I forget your arms. A huge human foot door in a field azure. The foot crushes a serpent rampant whose fangs are embedded in the heel. And the motto, Nemo me impune lasist. Good, he said. The wine sparkled in his eyes, and the bells jingled. My own fancy grew warm with the medoc. We had passed through long walls of piled skeletons with casks and puncheons intermingling into the inmost recesses of the catacombs. I paused again, and this time I made bold to seize Fortunato by an arm above the elbow. The nitre, I said. See, it increaseth. It hangs like moss upon the vaults. We are below the river's bed. The drops of moisture trickled among the bones. Come, we will go back. Here, it is too late. Your cough. It is nothing, he said. Let us go on, but first, another draught of the Medoc. I broke and reached him with a flagon of de Grave. He emptied it at a breath, his eyes flushed with a fierce light. He laughed and threw the bottle upwards with a gesticulation I did not understand. I looked at him in surprise. He repeated the movement, a grotesque one. You do not comprehend, he said. Not I replied. Then you are not of the Brotherhood. How? You are not one of the Masons. Yes, I said. Yes. You? Impossible. A Mason? A Mason, I replied. A sign, he said. A sign. It is this, I answered, producing from beneath the folds of my roquelaire a trowel. You jest, he exclaimed, recoiling a few paces, but let us proceed to the Amontillado. Be it so, I said, replacing the tool beneath the cloak and again offering him my arm. He leaned upon it heavily. We continued our route in search of the Amontillado. We passed through a range of low arches, descended, passed on, and descending again, arrived at a deep crypt in which the foulness of the air caused our flambeau rather to glow than flame. At the most remote end of the crypt there appeared another less spacious. Its walls had been lined with human remains piled to the vault overhead. In the fashion of the great catacombs of Paris, 3 sides of this interior crypt were still ornamented in this manner. From the 4th side, the bones had been thrown down and lay promiscuously upon the earth, forming at one point a mound of some size. Within the wall, thus exposed by displacing of the bones, we perceived a still interior crypt or recess, in depth about 4 feet and width 3, and height 6 or 7. It seemed to have been constructed for no especial use within itself, but formed merely the interval between 2 of the colossal supports of the roof of the catacombs, and was backed by one of the circumscribing walls of solid granite. It was in vain that Fortunato, uplifting his dull torch, endeavored to pry into the depth of the recess. Its termination the feeble light did not enable us to see. Proceed, I said. Herein is the Amontillado. As for Lutresi, he is an ignoramus. Interrupted my friend as he stepped unsteadily forward, while I followed immediately at his heels. In an instant he had reached the extremity of the niche, and finding his progress arrested by the rock, stood stupidly bewildered. A moment more, and I had fettered him to the granite. In its surface there were 2 iron staples, distant from each other about 2 feet horizontally. From one of these depended a short chain, from the other a padlock. Throwing the links about his waist, it was about the work of a few seconds to secure it. He was too much astounded to resist. Withdrawing the key, I stepped back from the recess. Pass your hand, I said, over the wall. You cannot help feeling the nitre. Indeed, it is very damp. Once more, let me implore you to return. No, then I must positively leave you. But I must first render you all the little attentions in my power. The Amontillado ejaculated my friend, not yet recovered from his astonishment. All right. True, I replied, the Amontillado. As I said these words, I busied myself among the pile of bones, of which I have before spoken. Throwing them aside, I soon uncovered a quantity of building stone and mortar. With these materials, and with the aid of my trowel, I began vigorously to wall up the entrance of the niche. I had scarcely laid the first tier of the masonry when I discovered that the intoxication of Fortunato had in a great measure worn off. The earliest indication I had of this was a low moaning cry from the depth of the recess. It was not the cry of a drunken man. There was then a long and obstinate silence. I laid the second tier, and the third, and the fourth, and then I heard the furious vibrations of this chain. The noise lasted for several minutes, during which that I might hearken to it with the more satisfaction. I ceased my labors and sat down upon the bones. When at last the clanking subsided, I resumed the trowel and finished without interruption the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th tier. The wall was now nearly upon a level with my breast. I again paused, and holding the flambeau over the masonwork, threw a few feeble rays upon the figure within. A succession of loud and shrill screams bursting suddenly from the throat of the chained form seemed to thrust me violently back. For a brief moment, I hesitated, I trembled, unsheathing my rapier. I began to grope with it about the recess, but the thought of an instant reassured me. I placed my hand upon the solid fabric of the catacombs and felt satisfied. I reapproached the wall. I replied to the yells of him who clamored. I re-echoed. I aided. I surpassed them in volume and in strength. I did this. The clamorer grew still. It was now midnight, and my task was drawing to a close. I had completed the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th tier. I had finished a portion of the last and the 11th. There remained but a single stone to be fitted and plastered in. I struggled with its weight. I placed it partially in its destined position, but now there came out from out the niche a low laugh that erected the hairs upon my head. It was succeeded by a sad voice, which I had difficulty in recognizing as that of the noble Fortunato. The voice said, "Ha ha ha, he he he, a very good joke indeed, an excellent jest. We will have many a rich laugh about it at the palazzo, he he he, over our wine, he he he. The Amontillado," I said, he he he, he he he, yes, the Amontillado. But it is not getting late? Or is it not getting late? Will not they be awaiting us at the palazzo? The Lady Fortunato, and the rest? Let us be gone. Yes, I said, let us be gone. For the love of God, Montresor. Yes, I said, for the love of God. But to these words I hearkened in vain for reply. I grew impatient. I called aloud, "Fortunato!" No answer. I called again, "Fortunato!" No answer still. I thrust a torch through the remaining aperture and let it fall within. There came forth, in return, only a jingling of the bells. My heart grew sick. It was the dampness of the catacombs that made it so. I hastened to make an end of my labor. I forced the last stone into its position. I plastered it up. Against the new masonry, I re-erected the old rampart of bones. For the half of a century, no mortal has disturbed them. There it is. That was Edgar Allan Poe. I hope my read-through of that was good for you guys. What? Was it good for you? Oh, there's one called To Helen. Well, she's not here, but I'm going to read it anyway, because it's short. Helen, thy beauty is to me like those Nicean barks of yore, that gently o'er a perfumed sea the weary way-worn wanderer bore to his own native shore, on desperate seas long wont to roam, The hyacinth hair, thy classic face, thy naiad airs have brought me home to the glory that was Greece and the grandeur that was Rome. Lo, in yon brilliant window niche, how statue-like I see thee stand, the agate lamp within thy hand. Ah, Psyche, from the regions from our holy land. Thank you for reading to us. You're welcome. Oh, I'm getting more people in here. Do I keep going? Is there another one that's short? I don't know if there's another one that's going to be a short. Okay, the oval portrait's 4 pages. Let's do that one. 201. With the piano music, this makes it seem like a really sophisticated stream. We were talking about Pop-Tarts earlier. Pop-Tarts and farts, I think. Yeah. I want to read I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, but I can't. I'll get in trouble. This is in public domain, so yeah, I can do it. I'm not doing SML Wiki. I don't want to. I'll have to do it another time. The chateau into which my valet had ventured to make forcible entrance rather than permit me in my desperately wounded condition to pass a night in the open air was one of those piles of commingled gloom and grandeur which have so long frowned upon the Epenies. Not less, in fact, that in the fancy of Mrs. Radcliffe, to all appearance it had been temporarily and very lately abandoned. We established ourselves in one of the smallest turret of the building. Its decorations were rich, yet tattered and antique. Its walls were hung with tapestry and bedecked with manifold and multiform armorial trophies, together with an unusually great number of very spirited modern paintings in frames of rich golden arabesque. In these paintings, which depended from the walls not only in their main surfaces but in very many nooks which the bizarre architecture of the chateau rendered necessary, in these paintings my incipient delirium, perhaps, had caused me to take deep interest, so that I bade Pedro to close the heavy shutters of the room, since it was already night, to light the tongues of a tall candelabrum which stood by the head of my bed, and to throw open far and wide the fringed curtains of black velvet which enveloped the bed itself. I wished all this done that I might resign myself, if not to sleep, at least alternately to the contemplation of these pictures and the perusal of a small volume which had been found upon the pillow, and which purported to criticize and describe them. Long I read, and devoutedly I gaze. Rapidly and gloriously the hours flew by, and the deep midnight came. The position of the candelabrum displeased me, and outreaching my hand with difficulty, rather than disturbing my slumbering valet, I placed it so as to throw its rays more fully upon the book. But the action produced an effect altogether unanticipated. The rays of the numerous candles... Hold on. I can't play that song. Nice. Why is it so loud? We went there too. We were somewhere around 12K. Nice. But the action produced an effect altogether unanticipated. The rays of the numerous candles, for there were many, now fell within a niche of the room, which had hitherto been thrown into deep shade by one of the bedposts. I thus saw in vivid light a picture all unnoticed before. It was the portrait of a young girl just ripening into womanhood. I glanced at the painting hurriedly and then closed my eyes. Why I did this was not at first apparent, even to my own perception. But while my lids remained thus shut, I ran over in mind my reason for so shutting them. It was an impulsive movement to gain time for thought, to make sure that my vision had not deceived me, to calm and subdue my fancy for a more sober and more certain gaze. In a very few moments, I again looked fixedly at the painting. That I now saw aright, I could not and would not doubt, for the first flashing of the candles upon that canvas had seemed to dissipate the dreamy stupor which was stealing over my senses, and to startle me at once into waking life. The portrait, I have already said, was that of a young girl. It was a mere head and shoulders, done in what is technically termed a vignette manner. Or is it whatever. Much in the style of the favorite heads of Sully, the arms, the bosom, and even the rounds of the radiant hair melted imperceptibly into the vague yet deep shadow which formed the background of the whole. The frame was oval, richly gilded and filigreed in Morse. As a thing of art, nothing could be more admirable than the painting itself, but it could have been neither the execution of the work nor the immortal beauty of the countenance, which had so suddenly and so vehemently moved me. Least of all could it have been that my fancy, shaken from its half-slumber, had mistaken the head for that of a living person. I saw at once that the peculiarities of the design of the vignette of the frame must have instantly dispelled such idea, must have prevented even its momentary entertainment. Thinking earnestly upon these points, I remained for an hour perhaps, half sitting, half reclining, with my vision riveted upon the portrait. At length, satisfied with the true secret of its effect, I fell back within the bed. I had found the spell of the picture in an absolute lifelikenesness of expression which, at first startling, finally confounded, subdued, and appalled me. With deep and reverent awe, I replaced the candelabrum in its former position. The cause of my deep agitation being thus shut from view, I sought eagerly the volume which discussed the paintings and their histories. Turning to the number which designated the oval portrait, I there read the vague and quaint words which follow. She was a maiden of rarest beauty, and not more lovely than full of glee, and evil was the hour when she saw and loved and wedded the painter. He, passionate, studious, astir, and having already a bride in his art, she, a maiden of rarest beauty, and not more lovely than full of glee, all lights and smiles, and frolicsome as the young fawn, loving and cherishing all things, hating only the art which was her rival, dreading only the palette and brushes and other untoward instruments which deprived her of the countenance of her lover. It was thus a terrible thing for this lady to hear the painter speak of his desire to portray even his young bride. But she was humble and obedient, and sat meekly for many weeks in the dark high turret chamber, where the light dripped upon the pale canvas only from overhead. But he, the painter, took glory in his work, which went on from hour to hour and from day to day, and he was a passionate and wild and moody man, who became lost in reveries, so that he would not see that the light which fell so ghastly in that lone turret withered the health and the spirit of his bride, who pined visibly to all but him. Yet she smiled on, and still on, uncomplainingly, because she saw that the painter, who had high renown, took a fervid and burning pleasure in his task, and wrought day and night to depict her who so loved him, yet who grew daily more dissipated and weak. And in sooth come who beheld the portrait spoke of its resemblance in low words, as of a mighty marvel, and a proof not less of the power of the painter than of his deep love for her whom he depicted so surpassingly well. But at length, as the labor drew nearer to its conclusion, there were admitted none into the turret, for the painter had grown wild in the ardor of his work, and turned his eyes from the canvas rarely even to regard the countenance of his wife. and he would not see the tents which he spread upon the canvas were drawn from the cheeks of her who sate beside him. And when many weeks had passed, but little remained to do, save one brush upon the mouth and one tent upon the eye, the spirit of the lady again flickered up as the flame within the socket of the lamp, and then the brush was given, and then the tent was placed, and for one moment the painter stood entranced before the work which he had wrought. But in the next, while he yet gazed, he grew tremulous, whatever, and very pallid and aghast, and crying with a loud voice, "This is indeed life itself," turned suddenly to regard his beloved. She was dead. Can I do a... I don't know. No, I'm going to play Sven's game tomorrow, I think. Unless Sabrizi and I decide to play something. I wasn't ignoring you. I was reading. Thanks for the 8 likes tonight, guys. Cards. Oh, that'd be nice to watch too. Yeah. I might freeze to death. Thank you for... Yeah. I don't know. Someone. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at it and see if it's even appropriate. This is from the Edgar Allan Poe, The Fall of House of Usher, and other writings, which is great. The other one was Kafka. I'm sure you guys have read it in school, but yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go to bed. If could. So Sven wanted me to play. Sven wanted me to play Wolfmate. So I'm gonna play that tomorrow. That's fine, Aiden. Thanks for stopping by, at least. We could play with Aiden, yeah. Helen wants to play Fortnite as well. I think Sabrizi wants to play Fortnite as well, too. And Dylan might want to play Fortnite as well. So I might do a squad with them. I don't know if I don't know. Or it might just be... Yeah, so, well, the other thing, too, Sabrizi and I might play a game together. We might play Fortnite together. Catch my drift. So, if she Estefania gets it. All right. I'm not abandoning random. What the fuck? Oh my god. Jeff the Killer is too long to read on stream. I can stream some Fortnite. We'll probably do that this weekend. Yeah, we'll do some Fortnite. But yeah, I'll see what Sabrizi wants to do too, and go from there. I don't know. If anything, we might be able to do the idea that I had. I want to play with both. So here's what I'm thinking. We could do a Fortnite night where we have a full squad, and whoever gets the least amount of kills, excluding me because I'm the one hosting the fucking stream, whoever gets the least amount of kills gets like knocked out for a bit, and then we shuffle in a new person in. Chain together on stream. We'll have to find something to play. I'm sure we can find something. I'm sorry. It's really long. I would read it. See, that's what I was thinking. Like, I think it could be fun, especially if like a bunch of people want to play. Yeah, random guy, you're probably gonna be fine. But yeah, just to like keep it engaging, and then yeah, I think that could be fun. Probably be a long stream too. I just asked that if you get on the mic to not be really fucking annoying. Other than that, should be fine. You're back to playing Skylanders? You didn't like playing that. Yeah, it should be cool. It'll be interesting, that's for sure. If you yeah, don't talk about ISIS. That's yeah, I think that's a good I think that's a good thing to go off of. No, don't talk about politics. No geopolitics. We don't need to talk about geopolitics. You can do that for your own thing. Also, Aiden, if you don't have a mic, that's totally fine. Arkean played with us without a mic, and he was doing great. So if you don't have a mic, that's fine. I would rather if you don't have a decent mic, do not get on mic. That's all I ask, because it'll sound like shit. But yeah, we can do that. I think that'll be fun. Yeah, no, Arkean was an absolute god among men on the Fortnite Music Fest. So, but yeah, we'll see who all wants to join it. Might be able to do it Saturday, right? I think Saturday should work. Yeah. Yeah, that could be cool. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see though. But I'm down. Yeah, I'm down to do some Fortnite. And yeah, like I said, we can do a revolving cast of people. So yeah, whoever gets the least amount of kills, we'll do probably even just do like the fast one too. I'll see if I freeze to death. Are you wait, where are you? Yeah, if I don't freeze to death tomorrow, guys, then we'll do a stream. But yeah, that could be fun. Yeah, we'll do that. Maybe we can find an 8-player board game. Sub-freezing temps. Motherfucker, it's gonna be like -40 here. With like wind chill and everything. I might die. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. If I die, you will probably play Fortnite with Dakota. Or Aiden. I've noticed the whole time I was reading a story. Can't have anything. Jesus Christ. Alright, well, I'm not talking like a baby, but I'm gonna go to bed now. It's midnight. But all right, thanks for coming by to the stream tonight, guys. I would stay up longer, but I'm tired now. So, but yeah, thank you guys for coming to the stream tonight. Let me see who all came to the stream. We had Adam M4X7V. We had Dakota. We had Hypernova Steve. Swoofla. We had, who else did we have? Taz19921. Inaval. Brian Rasmussen. Sane. Braden. 00ET. Tiernail. I don't know what that says. Helen. Random Guy. Estefania. Wanda Red. Aiden. Animatronics. Bert. Devin. Sabreezy. Someone. And Sven. And thank you, Sven, for donating. Auf Wiedersehen. Meine Katze ist kaputt. Die Autobahn ist super. Meine Deutsch ist nicht so gut. That's all I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bye. My cat is broken. Their actual names. Yeah. Meine Autobahn ist kaputt. Good night, everybody. Good night. Have a nice night. Bye. See ya. Bye bye. I'm going to bed now. Bye.